Hi, I'm coming to you this weekend from the beautiful Lopino Valley in the Northern Range, where my sisters and brothers from Retrovai and myself are on retreat this weekend. In this weekend's gospel reading, we learn that the growth to Christian discipleship, which is also the growth to Christian maturity, involves a series of renunciations. And Jesus expresses it like this: If any man comes to me without hating his father, mother, wife, children, brothers, sisters, yes, and his own life too, he cannot be my disciple. Anyone who does not carry his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. The word hate here is a form of Semitic exaggeration, which really means to prefer less. So hate means prefer less. And what Jesus is trying to say is that anything at all, persons or ideas, something close to us, anything that stands in the way of complete and thorough commitment to Him, anything that stands in the way of complete and thorough commitment to Jesus must be set aside. Again and again, you and I are invited to leave behind the comfortable and the familiar, to embrace the unknown, the unfamiliar. Many years ago, during my formation for the priesthood, early one January, I made the important decision that I was no longer going to seek out the man who, up to that point, had been my spiritual director. At the same time, I also made the decision that I was no longer going to seek out someone else whom I had been going to for counseling. And no, I was not foolish enough to believe that I was now whole and no longer in need of advice. But over the course of an entire year, after much deliberation and prayer and seeking the advice of other wise people that I knew, I had come to the decision that it was time for me to listen to my own voice for a while, and after I listened to my own voice, seek out new companions with whom I could continue my spiritual journey. Decisions such as these are quite frightening, and they demand of us a particular kind of courage. But we should understand that we do this in solidarity with Jesus, who was rejected and misunderstood even by members of his own family. And having been rejected by others, Jesus was prepared to go on alone, hating his own family, preferring them less to the will of Almighty God. The gospel reading today also makes it quite clear that the cross, in other words, the suffering which comes to us as a result of our fidelity to God's will, is a natural part of Christian existence. Jesus says, anyone who does not carry his cross and come after me cannot be my disciple. If we receive these crosses without resentment, asking, well, why me? If we receive these crosses without self-pity, these pressure points in our lives can provide wonderful opportunities for growth and self-discovery. And so what we have before us this weekend then is a rather stiff challenge from Jesus, who is prepared, if need be, to travel on alone, even in the face of the opposition of those whom he loves, let us ask ourselves, are we prepared to do the same thing? Am I prepared to discard ideas, ways of acting, cultural beliefs which stand in the way of my relationship with God? Have a great weekend. God bless you.